In this section, we'll explain why it is important to firstly identify which sets of management information you'll be collecting, and secondly, why you should be working with management information within your business in order to improve it moving forward. What is management information? Firstly, it's an identified set of information and data that we're going to be collecting, that we're going to be able to use as a metric or a KPI so that we can analyze and review where we are currently and if we're on track towards achieving our objectives and our business aims. So this is working to a plan. When we're talking about management information, we're talking about a process within our business. This isn't something that we flippantly review as and when we note some information. This is a process and a part of what we do throughout our business activities, and it needs to be planned and scheduled in and worked against a plan. We need to be planning what information and what set of management information it is that we are aiming to collect first. So it's an identified set of information across all of our business functions with the purpose of aiming to improve our business day to day. So secondly, it's gathered via an input into a system. Now, if you've looked at the operations module, we have a section dedicated to software, and management information is going to be aligned with whatever software or system that you're using. And the idea of management information is that it's not actively gathered or collected, but it's input into the system via day-to-day business operational activities. So via members of staff running through their own workflows and updating the system as they go along in order to do their own job. It's building a set of management information that's input into the system through the standard business activities day to day. So this isn't necessarily a department of somebody that's going to go out and harvest and collect all of this information and spend all of their time creating reports. Management information is going to be ideally information that is collected via your standard business operations, having inputs throughout the day and throughout the month so that you can eventually report via an output. So thirdly, it's reported via output. So if the structure of the company has been set up correctly, going through company structure and business operations, and you're collecting your information via standard operational day-to-day activities, your management information should be able to be collected and put directly into a report via a click of a button. That's what good management information is. It's information that is collected throughout the day of operations that ultimately you can click a button and export a report so that you can see all of the important metrics and all of the important KPIs that are relevant to what it is that you're trying to achieve aligned with your business objectives moving forward. And finally, management information exists, and the reason that we plan and put it together so that we have better information so we can make the best and most informed decisions about improving our company. Why is it important to work with MI or management information? Number one, analysis. If we have the correct management information available to us, we can analyze certain areas of our business that we may not otherwise be able to analyze. So for example, we can have a look at the costs in particular categories, and we can make sure that we're not overspending in one area. For example, we can have a look at analysis of our revenue and make sure that our product mix is where we're expecting it to be. And there's a whole host of other things that management information is going to provide to us so that we can complete an analysis on the business and understand the business by numbers and by information and data a little bit better than what we do if we didn't have access to it. It's important to have management information and work with management information as well so that you can coordinate, so that you can identify who needs to be doing what, where the focus needs to be, and improving, again, moving forward and achieving those goals, improving everything that you do and coordinating your team so that there's synergy amongst everything that everybody is doing, that we can understand that there's no overlap in what tasks that people are trying to achieve. And fundamentally, it gives us the tools that we need in order to coordinate the entire senior team and then beneath them the employees and lower level staff, so that everybody is working towards a shared goal. Thirdly, it gives us more control. It gives us control of our company by numbers. We want to know and understand where everything is within our company from a cost perspective, but also from a quality perspective. So, for example, if we're providing customer service that isn't quite to the standard that we would expect, we want to be able to gain control of this immediately and put focus around improving that customer service. So using customer service as an example, it shows us how much more we can control our company if we are working with management information. It gives us the ability to make important decisions. It's always difficult to make key decisions around our company if we don't have a set of information that we're making that decision off of the back of. So for example, if we're looking at having a price increase or a price decrease, we want a set of management information to tell us whether or not that's going to be the right decision. It has to be a quantified decision that we're making, and it has to be off of the basis of qualified information that's available to us. And then finally, it's important to work with management information because once we've structured our company, once we've put all of the effort into each area that we've spoken about throughout the Trade Business Accelerator University, looking at our operations, looking at our sales, looking at our marketing, taking into consideration our financial controls, once we've put all of the individual components together to structure a company, it becomes about improving month on month, week on week, day on day, what it is that we do to either achieve our goals or ultimately increase our bottom line profits. And management information is going to be that set of information that's available to you, that is collected daily so that you can make the decisions in order to improve what it is that we're doing. Ultimately, you want to look at your business from a data perspective and understand that if you are slightly improving bit by bit each category and each piece of information, you know that fundamentally your business is improving. So you want to be looking at your business from an information and data perspective so that you can quantify the improvement as your company and base your decision making off of the back of quantified and qualitative information that's available to you. So when we think about collecting management information, it is important that we consider the 4 key principles of good management information. When it comes to management information, it's important that we're working with correct information. So we need to make sure that we understand the principles, and the principles are, firstly, it needs to be consistent in the way that it's collected. We need to ensure that we're consistently putting information into our system and it's harvested in the correct way. And then it needs to be consistently reviewed period by period. So if you're looking to review your management information each month, as an example, you need to make sure that you're consistently reviewing it month on month so that it gives you the ability as a business manager and a business leader and owner to spot trends and make decisions around those trends. Secondly, it needs to be accurate. It's very important that the information that you're basing your management decisions on is accurate. This seems like a relatively obvious thing to say, but it's important that you know and understand that if you have inaccurate management information, it's essentially useless. It has to be accurate. And there also has to be a contribution from whoever it is that's reporting on the management information. So if it's being harvested by members of the sales team by entering their sales orders into the system, for example, and then exported by a sales manager who's providing it into the management information dashboard, there needs to be some kind of contribution from the sales manager or commentary around that set of management information. And you're going to want to make sure that they're providing their own analysis as somebody that's in control of that part of the organization. Following on from this, it does need to be relevant. So again, breaking down our company into different functions and looking at the key individual business functions that there are that make up most companies, we need to make sure that it's relevant, and then the management information as we're analyzing it and reviewing it is relevant to the business function that we're looking at. So if we're keeping a consistent example here and dealing with a sales manager, if a sales manager is exporting and reporting on the sales orders for a period, we need to make sure that all of the management information that the sales manager is collecting and reporting on is relevant to what they're able to influence day to day. If the sales orders are lower than what they should be, the sales manager is going to have to provide commentary around why they are lower than what they should be, and then what is going to happen in terms of trying to improve them and getting them back to where they should be. And finally, it's important that management information, and one of the key and core principles of good management information, is that it's timely. It needs to be reviewed consistently, but this means that it's available promptly, ready for the review at the correct time. If it's taking time to collect and export management information, that's potentially a weak process that needs to be looked at, identified and isolated, and then improved upon. But the idea of good management information, that it's ready and available for whenever it is that you're ready to review it. So it's very, very important that it's available in a timely manner. Who is management information relevant to? So firstly, it's going to be relevant to business owners and shareholders. They're going to want to, and you're going to want to, have a good and thorough understanding of the performance of your business for the sake of commercial reasons. You're going to want to make sure that everything is where it needs to be across the board, so that your bottom line profits are optimized and always and constantly improving in alignment with what your business strategy and business plan is. Secondly, it's really important and always going to be extremely relevant to senior managers that are in control of their specific areas or departments. They're going to need, and it's an important requirement for them to be able to do their job and improve upon what it is that they do, management information, so they can see where their weaknesses are, they can see where their strengths are, and they can identify where their focus needs to be spent so that they can easily improve the elements of the business that they need to improve, so that we can all achieve what it is that we're trying to achieve and have and work towards that shared goal. And then thirdly, it's actually important that you have management information available for external stakeholders that may have some type of interest into your company. For example, if you work within the gas industry, you're going to have gas safe that will be interested in a lot of the management information that's available to you, i.e. How many audits are you doing versus how much work that you're doing? What is your quality control like? What's your customer satisfaction rates? Are there any complaints? All of this information has to be readily available for that type of external stakeholder. Another good example here is that you have to have a treating customers fairly policy in place if you're offering any type of finance or consumer credit. And if you're doing that, it's important that you have available management information around customer satisfaction and making sure that all customers are being treated fairly. So the key people that it's going to be relevant to are the owners, because you're going to want to make sure that your profits are as optimized as they possibly can be. Number two, senior managers, so they know that they're being measured and they're able to improve each element of the business that it is that they're responsible for. And then finally, external stakeholders. So if you're in touch with any external stakeholders that are going to have some type of interest in the way that you do things within your company, you're going to want to have readily available information to provide to them to conform with whatever their guidelines are. So recapping then on what management information is, it's an identified set of data that is planned, that you're planning on working to a set of data. It's automatically gathered through systems. So this isn't information that you necessarily have to go out and collect. This is something that is set up to be collected as per your standard day-to-day business operations. The major purpose of management information is fundamentally for the improvement of your company. You want to improve every element and every aspect of your company, and understand what the aspects and components of your company are that needs to be improved, so that day by day, week by week, month by month, your numbers are going up in the right direction. And finally, it needs to be reviewed consistently for it to have the required benefit to you as a business owner and to everybody within the company, and also those all important bottom line profits. It has to be reviewed consistently.